Hayden Panettiere's death has left fans grieving. But according to someone close to the actress, there had already been concern among people in her inner circle over her renewed connection with Brian Hickerson. A source who recently spoke exclusively with Us Weekly said Panettiere had appeared to be doing better, yet her friends remained uneasy after she began spending time with her former partner again. Hayden seemed to be doing well recently, but there was still concern among her friends and inner circle, the source said, especially because she started spending time with Brian again. The insider explained why that reunion was particularly troubling for those closest to Panettiere. That relationship and association had led her down a dark path in the past, so her friends and inner circle were worried for her. There were concerns, and her friends really hoped she was doing okay. Us Weekly has reached out to representatives for both Panettiere and Hickerson for comment. Panettiere, who rose to fame as a child actor before becoming a major television and film star, experienced a series of deeply difficult chapters in her personal life. Her relationship with Hickerson was at the center of multiple domestic violence allegations, including an incident that ultimately resulted in him serving time in prison. On Sunday, August 16th, Panettiere was found unresponsive. Her father, Skip Panettiere, confirmed her death that same day. He remembered his daughter as an incredible light and a force of nature. She was 36. Even amid those struggles, the source described Panettiere as someone who continued to show up for the people around her. Despite everything she was going through personally, the insider said, Hayden was a very supportive friend until the end. She always tried to remain positive and was such a joyful person to be around, the source added. Behind that optimism, however, Panettiere had been dealing with serious personal challenges, including postpartum depression, addiction, and abuse she said she experienced during her relationship with Hickerson. The actress had also endured another devastating family loss. Her younger brother, Jansen Panettiere, died in February 2023 at just 28 years old. According to the source, Hayden was fighting a lot of demons behind the scenes. But she still remained optimistic about her future and hopeful about what was ahead, the insider added. One of the clearest signs of that forward-looking mindset came just months before her death. In May, Panettiere released her memoir, This Is Me, A Reckoning, and the source said the book brought her a sense of relief, while she appeared to be moving toward a more positive period in her life. She wanted to be a bright light and an advocate, and always talked about wanting to help people, the source said. That desire to help others was closely tied to the way Panettiere chose to confront her past publicly. Panettiere first became romantically linked to Hickerson in 2018. A year later, he was arrested following an alleged domestic violence incident involving the actress. He was charged with felony domestic violence and ordered to stay away from her, although those charges were eventually dropped. The two continued their relationship afterward. Hickerson was arrested again in 2020 following another domestic violence incident involving Panettiere. He ultimately served 33 days in prison, and after his release in 2021 was placed on 4 years of probation and ordered to pay a $500 fine. For Panettiere, discussing those experiences publicly was not simply about revisiting painful memories. She told Us Weekly in her May cover story that putting the experience into words mattered to her. It was brutal. It was traumatic. It was emotional, Hayden said, explaining that it was important to word that experience properly in her memoir. She also described the reason she ultimately wanted to tell the story. I needed to believe that it happened for a reason. For something so horrible to happen, the only thing that I could think of to make it all worth it was to let people know that they're not alone and help people. In the memoir, Panettiere described alleged instances of abuse, including what she recalled as an open-face slap, and another incident in which she said Hickerson allegedly beat her so severely that she didn't leave the house for weeks. For Panettiere, sharing those memories was part of a larger effort to make other survivors feel less isolated. I want others to know that there's somebody out there who went through it, Hayden said. And even though it took her years to truly get herself out of the situation, it's possible. You can do it. Yet even after everything that had happened between them, Hickerson spoke about a possible future with Panettiere around the same time her memoir was released. In May, he told TMZ that he could imagine marrying Hayden someday, while also acknowledging that they probably wouldn't be good together. Panettiere was much more direct when asked about the possibility. On May 13th, she told the outlet, "I don't think that's going to happen." That exchange now carries a painful weight in light of her death. The source's account suggests that, while Panettiere was trying to move forward and had found purpose in telling her story, people close to her were still worried about the relationship she had re-entered. And perhaps that is what makes the final months of her life so difficult to understand. Panettiere was publicly turning painful experiences into a message of hope, while privately, according to the source, the people around her remained concerned about the path she was taking. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, support is available through local domestic violence services. In Vietnam, Nghe My Hotline provides free emotional support by phone at 096-306-1414, operating Wednesday through Sunday from 1 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Nghe My Hotline,